Sports.
While Donald J. Trump has been called many things throughout the years, one characteristic that can't be disputed is his competitive nature, and how great his will to win truly is. The former comedian Rosie O'Donnell would have to find this out the hard way. Let's take a look back at the infamous celebrity feud and find out what actually happened. Both celebrities have been navigating the world of entertainment for multiple decades. Rosie made her impact as a comedic talent in movies and television, while Donald made his mark as a billionaire influencer. When the two stars finally crossed paths, it would create tons of headlines. As The View began playing musical chairs with their host, the show's creator Barbara Walters would hire O'Donnell as a panelist. The show revolved around discussing daily hot topics that garnered public attention. Rosie was always an opinionated personality on the show, often expressing her unfiltered take on subjects and celebrities in the headlines. But she would soon find out that not everyone took her jokes so lightly. During one of their segments, the group would cover a scandal surrounding the Miss Universe competition. It was a glorified beauty pageant for women representing various countries all over the world. Newly crowned Miss Kentucky winner Tara Conner was selected to represent the United States in the pageant, but she later would face extreme controversy. TMZ reported the 20-year-old was seen out enjoying the nightlife a little too much. There were allegations of drug use, excessive drinking, and promiscuous behavior from the contestant. Many thought she should be removed from the competition following the reports, suggesting she would not be a good representative for the country. Trump was the owner of the Miss Universe pageant and he had the final say. He decided not to disqualify her for the conduct allegations. The panel on The View would later cover the story and react to the decision. Quickly, things shifted to a tirade of personal attacks by the outspoken O'Donnell, sharing all of her grievances with the world about the billionaire.
And so he held a press conference to announce whether or not she was going to retain her crown. Yeah. And then she started to cry.
She did.
Going, I just want to thank Donald for giving me a second chance.
And it was brilliant.
And there he is, hair looping, going, everyone deserves a second chance. And I'm going to give her a second chance.
It's perfect.
Listen, he annoys me on a multitude of levels. He's the moral authority. Left the first wife, had an affair. Left the second wife, had an affair. Had kids both time, but he's the moral compass for 20-year-olds in America. Donald, sit and spin, my friend. I don't enjoy him. No. He's going to sue me, but he'll be bankrupt by that time, so I won't have to worry. But I don't know. I just think that this man is like sort of one of those, snake oil salesmen in Little House on the Prairie. You remember that episode where the guy would come in with a lot of bottles and everybody would be like, ooh, and then he'd leave and little Laura Ingalls would go, Dad, I don't think there's anything in this bottle. Well, you're right, half pint. That man was full of crap. That's sort of what it is, I think, I love it. That's my opinion. I don't enjoy him.
After taking personal shots at the Donald, he seemed to feel disrespected and reacted accordingly. Trump proceeded to take every opportunity to insult the comedian after the segment aired. He released statements to magazines and did multiple interviews, firing back with personal shots of his own.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. Rosie attacked me personally because I was very happy when her talk show failed. The other thing that failed, and this was a real monster, and everybody was suing her, was her magazine. Her magazine called Rosie was a total disaster. So I loved it. I gloat over it. I think it's wonderful because I like to see bad people fail. Rosie failed. I'm happy about it. She's basically a disaster. Well, she called me a snake oil salesman. And, coming from Rosie, that's pretty low because when you look at her and when you see the mind is weak. I don't see it. I don't get it. I never understood. How does she even get on television? I believe Barbara made a terrible mistake putting her on, and I think Barbara's probably paying a big price. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
Good to have you here. Tell us how you celebrated your New Year's Eve. What did you do?
Well, pretty much I went on various television shows and bashed Rosie O'Donnell.
There you go.
Believe it or not, that's...
Rosie's a loser. There's no question about that. People know it. People that know her know it.
And I assumed that it was over. She got beaten up pretty badly, and then she wrote a blog. Now, she didn't mention my name at all because she's gutless. But she's a person that, frankly, Barbara Walters, she resurrected her. And I will tell you this, Barbara is not thrilled about it because I spoke with Barbara. Barbara is not a fan of Rosie. That I can tell you. Now, I don't think Barbara's going to admit that.
Yeah, publicly,
but Barbara is not a fan of Rosie.
Publicly, Barbara Walters has put out a statement basically saying that she's a friend of yours, but that she likes having Rosie on The View. You think that's not the case?
Well, what else is she going to say? And Rosie will fail with The View just like she's failed with everything else.
Like many bullies, Rosie was dumbfounded that someone actually stood up for themselves. Rosie would eventually leave The View, but Trump's sights remained set on her as a target. As social media evolved, it would be the main stage of Donald's relentless attacks. When the comedian announced her engagement, Trump had to share his concerns for her partner. When Rosie announced she had a new show in the works, Trump would be waiting with a hilarious response. After Rosie had weight loss surgery, losing approximately 50 pounds, the Donald quickly called her out for hypocrisy. As the years went on, the Donald never would let up on the former comedian, and Rosie seemed unable to have any sort of comeback for the onslaught being delivered. Even on the main stage of his run for presidency, Trump had one of the most memorable moments in history.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
Thank you.
To add insult to injury, Donald went on to win the presidential election to the dismay of O'Donnell. Rosie has since shied away from the spotlight following her public spats with Trump. She decided to tread ever so lightly with her remarks when discussing him. What are your thoughts on this story? Who was the real bully in this decade-long feud? Leave a comment below and let me know.
Eventually, she'll get rid of Rosie. There's no question in my mind. And I hope you save this clip, because eventually Rosie will be gone from The View.
Flawless victory.